Hi, this is Kevin Cook from KCC Photography and KCCactions.com. I am going to be demonstrating how to use the KCC Everything Pack. I've already cloned a couple things up here at the top just to make this look a little bit better. So basically, we are going to jump right in and begin working on this. So the cool thing about the KCC Everything Pack is it basically does have pretty much everything that I use on a daily basis. I do add some things once in a while, but for the most part, this is the workflow. So this is pretty much everything that I use. Alright, so let's get started. And I'm going to actually start with the KCC matte with ColourPop. And basically it's just going to create like a film look. You'll see that there's some options if you want to add a warm tint or a blue tint, you can do that. And we're just going to click right here in the white box and grab a black brush, and I am going to just erase this off the subjects. And that's just, the reason we do this is just because it brings out more of the pop around them, so that it looks much better, and this looks much better without it on top of them. Okay, so you can see that's the first stage, and I'll cut it off and on so you can kind of see what it does. And this is, you can do or not do this layer, it's completely up to you. We'll come back and we'll later adjust the opacity and kind of play with the sliders just a little bit. So the next thing I'm going to do now is go ahead and create our Harvest Love. And I'm just going to run it right on top. We'll keep the matte over the Harvest Love action just because it's going to apply down. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a brush, and we're using a white brush here. And I'm going to start a little bit bigger. And this is a soft white brush, and I'm just going to start brushing this in to this area. Like this. And you can see this is very, very fast. And very, very easy. So I'm just going to go around, and if you hit the / key, you can pull up a masking guide, and obviously the stuff in red would be the area that has not had anything applied to it. And you can see I'm just going to brush around here, trying to get pretty tight, and you want to be as close as you can. So you're going to want to switch to a much smaller brush to get into these little tiny spots. I'm just going to go around here, and you'll see the impact that this will have. And if you see something that you've missed, you'll just hit it with a black brush if you have a little bit of spill. And I'm just going to zoom out here, kind of look at it, and you can kind of get an idea of what needs to be done. Alright, so in this set there's a lot of different stuff that you can do with the photo to add more warmth, to cool it down. If I click this button, you'll see that it gets a little bit warmer, and this is a little bit cooler. That's just going to affect the background, not the subject. So I'm going to go ahead and grab an overlay. Let's see. and I will use the center because they are centered into the photo. So I'm just going to drag and drop this right in here, and we're going to set this wherever we want it, and we'll kind of adjust it here in a second. The reason I like to do this underneath all of these layers is because I can actually see a guideline of the subject. So I can actually just go ahead and create a layer mask now if I want, switch to a black brush, and we can kind of go ahead and erase some of this. And some of this won't matter whenever we switch this to screen mode. And you can see it kind of adds a little bit of light coming in from the top. I have some that come in from the side. There's lots of different ones in here. So that's how that works. You can actually duplicate the layer if you want to. If you want more light, you can reduce the opacity if you need less light. That's completely up to you. So now I'm just going to grab the subject, and I'm going to run that right over here. And I like to have this on the top just because it kind of keeps everything in balance where I need it to be. I can see what I'm doing. And so I'm just going to reduce the opacity here and grab a black brush. And I'm just making sure that we don't have any spillover. So you can see that we erased it off there. Now the cool thing about this is you can actually come in here, and if you want it less warm, you can change that a little bit. You can change the harvest sun, and just play around with the overall sliders. This is very, very, very easy to do. Super simple.